live. So here
This
we
is
are.
loose.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just started. Oh well.
Just go with it.
Yeah, I
I've been
mean, all right, so
Just go
Nick,
with it.
this
I've been
is
doing that for
Chris.
6 months now.
Perfect.
Well,
I'm curious.
yeah.
I'm so curious to see how it's all going to go.
yeah. It will go very
Expect to unexpect everything.
well. Yeah.
I came
So
in zero expectations.
Good.
So since our listeners did not hear the pre-show announcement, today is officially National Calculus Day.
According to
And
who?
Yeah. In what way is it officially?
well, I just declared it official.
Yeah,
And-
but I feel like you're just making up. I don't know.
Well, you know what, Nick? I'll make it better than National Calculus Day. I'll make
Okay.
it International Calculus Day, and even
So
better
now
than
So now you're speaking for countries that you don't even belong.
well, even better than that, Nick. I'll declare it Intergalactic Calculus Day.
John, I think you're speaking for a lot of people that probably don't agree with that.
Well, you know what? That's okay because
Is it okay?
I
I
have
mean-
the like amoebas and other little critters out there on Mars and beyond that I have to stick up for.
Isn't math like, supposedly the international or sort of universal language? So
It
theoretically,
is, but declaring holidays is not.
Well, you know what, Nick? You have too many complaints.
I think a lot of people are going to have complaints when they find out you're declaring holidays for them.
Well, you know what? No
Oh, wait,
one's
what are the
working-
perks? What are the perks of this holiday?
Well, you know
good
what?
question. How do we celebrate it? That's a good.
Well, I would say that, you know what, one perk is peach soju. So I have a little here like, to
What brand?
celebrate.
Brand.
Yeah.
John, brand.
It is Soon Hurry.
Okay.
It's actually my bottle from last week. I didn't actually finish it after the show.
That looks like a full bottle right now.
That's,
Well, no,
that's
it-
really disappointing.
But
Hold it up again, John. I want to see.
no, it's really not. It's
Oh, okay. All right.
it was like half a bottle. Like
okay.
I-
No, it looked earlier like you had a lot more in there. All right. Okay. I
Well,
believe you
because
now.
you're supposed to like give it a big shake and everything.
No, I know. But when you were shaking,
Are you?
it looked like a full bottle.
Yeah,
I've never shook my soju. I don't
yeah,
think.
like a vigorous shake or two or three or four or five.
I don't think I knew that was a thing.
I don't think it is a thing.
I don't think it's a thing.
I
I
think.
mean, I
think this is
it's-
John speaking for the world again.
Again,
think
yeah.
it's
This is National
close
Shake
to,
Your Soju Day. Also,
Probably.
apparently.
Well, it is now.
Well, I
Oh.
don't think that
Yeah. If it,
I
if it
can
wasn't 2
declare
minutes ago, it is
that.
now.
because I think that National Soju Day, well, you know what? It might as well be today, but I feel like more or less that National Soju Day is more on probably Valentine's Day in Korea.
Like
because
every day is National Soju Day in Korea.
Yeah, I mean that's
Real.
true. In chicken and beer.
Or if you're an alcoholic
So-
like John.
You know what, Nick? You did suggest that we should get the listeners involved. So if you're out there
Okay.
listening on YouTube right now,
Are you
So-
watching the stream so you can see the comments?
yeah,
I should do that.
I certainly
Professional.
am.
Professional.
Yeah,
So-
I need to do that.
You have like a picture, I think, of the two of you. Is that what
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's hard to
Yeah.
tell on the back of in your room, John. You have
Well-
two screens that I can see.
Yes.
Seem to contain photo. It's a little hard to tell. Is it like your own?
Oh well, you know what? Do you want a close up of it, Chris?
I mean, sure.
All right, here we go, Nick.
Oh,
Welcome to Funniest Part of My Name, a podcast about math and Korean culture, with a side of humor.
we've already
For
hit both of those
information about our
topics.
podcast, please visit www.johnoaks.com.
And now here are your hosts, 프로페서 승찬 and 닉 하하하.
All right, Nick. So you did say that you wanted to get the listeners more involved on YouTube.
Yeah, just John, just to let you know though, the at least on my phone, the YouTube feed, there is a delay.
Well, you know what, Nick? That's okay.
I didn't know. I'm not saying it's not okay, but
Are
I'm just,
you saying that
letting-
that you don't want to take comments from the listeners
No, I
because
do-
they're delayed?
no. I'm just saying that the comments are delayed. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just stating
Are
facts.
people commenting right now?
No.
Well, all right. If
No,
you're-
okay,
if
so-
you're listening on YouTube right now, then
You're delayed by
what?
about 5 to 10 seconds.
Well, okay, so you know what?
I'm not saying it's a problem,
I-
John.
I'm-
I'm stating objective facts.
No,
Those facts are
but
objective.
But
so
I
that
want
was
to hear
redundant.
from the listeners. I mean, whether you do or not, Nick.
I didn't say anything to the contrary.
So
You're doing a really good job of speaking for people
Everybody,
tonight, John.
everybody.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm a fan of this.
well, you know what, Nick? Let's see.
Is this how the podcast normally goes?
Yes.
Well, you know what, Nick? This is okay. You know,
Is it?
you know why? Because the listeners are going to vote right now. So if you agree with me that there should be National Soju Day and National Calculus Day, and it should be today.
Are you sure there's not a National Soju Day?
I was just
Well,
looking at that. To see
It
if there's
depends
National
on
Soju Day.
what country you're talking about, Nick.
I
But-
feel in Korea there probably is one.
Okay,
I think
so
every day.
if you
though.
agree with me, then say Nick is a
Wait,
joke
did you
in the
say
chat.
a National Soju Day or
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
for
National
America
Soju
is
Day.
what you're saying.
Well,
Are we
for,
all
yeah,
in
John, you
America?
have to give perspective here.
for any country. Because
I'm
what
sure
is-
I'm sure there's at least one country in the world that recognizes to some extent a National Soju Day.
Surprisingly,
Oh.
it doesn't seem like Korea does, but I think that's because
Every
every day
day
in
is-
Korea
yeah.
is National
Yeah.
Soju Day. It's subsidized by the government.
Oh, good.
it really is.
It's not subsidized by any
Cheaper than
government
water.
here.
I wish it was.
So
Yeah, right.
what I'll do to that is I'll drink to that.
I
and
wish
I'll
I had
drink
soju.
to
What was that?
calculus.
I do, but I don't want to leave to go prepare myself.
Well, one of the only things that John told me before I joined the podcast was, and right before, was that drinking is encouraged.
It really is.
Well, John does promote alcoholism.
No,
Mm.
I don't think that's quite how it is because I promote hydration. I have my water here.
It's important.
Good.
You also promote killing the planet with that bottled water, though. You should.
Well, you know what?
Oh, he
What
makes a good
I will
point,
say
John.
is that
See,
this
John, I have my reusable container.
This bottle says that it is a better bottle because it's 100% recycled and 100% recyclable.
John,
Do you
look at
recycle
the-
them?
Probably not.
Yeah, I have a recycling bin right over there. so-
John, you like the light effect?
Well, you know what? I'm colorblind, so it has no effect on me.
No, I think you're gravely incorrect.
Well, you know what, Nick?
Color blindness
Hey.
and ability to perceive light are completely unrelated.
That's what you say.
See now, so he's speaking for people
Well, no,
tonight. He's
as a-
declared himself.
As a color able
ophthalmologist.
person, you know, like you, I don't think will understand the plight of the colorblind person.
I mean, what kind of colorblind are you?
I am red-green colorblind.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
gee, funny how that has nothing to do with ability to perceive light.
Well, you know what? That's okay, Nick. But I do have some great news for you, Nick.
Okay,
So you'll be very surprised by this, but
It's National Calculus Day.
that's
well,
old
yeah,
news now.
and there was
Oh, it's old news.
calculus involved in this.
John, there's no comments. What's going on here?
Do you normally
Well,
have
you
lots of
know
comments?
what? They don't want to
Goodness.
embarrass you, Nick, so no one's commenting.
That's never stopped them in the past.
well,
Hmm.
well, that's okay. Maybe I can comment here.
Oh, good.
Don't self-comment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could.
I have to agree with Chris on this one.
Well, I could self-comment.
No.
Why not?
No.
Well, I mean, I really could. Because I'm logged in as.
You're the host, I guess. You could say, please comment. You know,
Yeah,
it's like a
yeah,
desperation.
Well,
It does show desperation. You're right.
In desperation.
call.
Well, I don't think that
It's a good call.
We're desperate in any way. This is
Uh,
a.
I don't know, John. Just
Well, you know what? I think it's time for another shot of soda.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Just because we can't.
Yeah, well, John is.
Well, the good news, Nick,
What's the good news? Hit me
you'll
with it.
really. I know you like history at least a little bit. So,
Depends what kind of history, but sure.
well, I know this will surprise you, but there is one Japanese person I actually really have always thought was a really interesting person. Have you
So you're
heard
saying
of?
so you're saying every other Japanese person doesn't matter to you,
They're all
No,
not
I'm not
interesting.
saying
Only
that.
one. Only one.
despite the fact that John is like 30 some
Well,
odd percent Japanese.
Yeah, no, only
Are you though?
10%, only 10%
Yes, he is.
Japanese. But
No, John, don't lie. Come
No,
on.
yeah,
Let's
that's
be
not-
By
let's be
which
truthful.
update of whatever DNA testing service you're using? There's the real question.
yeah, well, yeah, and so it really has
His
been
own.
updated. So
He's human
Now-
sequencing himself.
yeah, so
23 and
Katie
John.
is complaining, Nick, that your directions on what to comment about are not very good, and that you can't.
My
speak in
directions on
complete
what I'm not giving any
sentences, Nick.
directions to comment. They're all coming from you.
Exactly, that's the whole point of the comment, Nick, is that you're not finishing your sentences.
Oh well.
And
you
you
know what,
sound
John?
like
I'm
you're-
not.
you're
I'm
just-
not watching the
you're
comments
just
right now. I'm
blabbering.
trying to pay attention to the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well,
Is this the show?
have you heard of Minoru Yamasaki?
Say the name again.
Like
Yamasaki.
the
That's
whiskey?
the last name.
Yeah, Yamasaki.
Who is this?
See, that's so you don't know. Chris, do you know who Yamasaki is?
I mean, that's a general Japanese last name, so you're gonna have to be more specific. It's like, have you heard of Kim,
Well,
the Korean,
but-
the
Yeah.
famous
yeah,
Korean,
Oh yeah, that one.
Oh.
Minoru Yamasaki.
the architect?
Yes. Okay. So that 500 bonus trivia points for you, Chris.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, so
Amazing.
trivia started
Well,
already.
no.
Is that a
this
thing
was
that you
just,
do?
this
It
was
actually
just,
is. Trivia is coming
That's
up.
cool.
It's the middle
That's
segment. It'll
free-
start in about 10 minutes.
This
It's
was a
absolutely
free,
asinine.
This
like
is
a
amazing.
game, like a chance to get points, and Nick, you're already in the hole.
Do other people, when they come on the podcast, just like, are they constantly aghast
Yes,
at
yes.
what's
See, no,
happening?
this
Oh,
is
yeah, I don't
refreshing,
think
Chris.
that's
You are
totally
one of our
true.
most interactive guests so far, and I'm
Well,
enjoying this.
I'm good at yes-anding, let's say, so
Well,
I'm just listening and seeing what's
I
happening.
think you're doing
Yeah.
more than that. I mean, you're pretty
Well-
you're pretty objective and fair from what I mean. You know, you've
Well,
called us both
hey,
out a
way
little
to
bit, and I
suck
think
up,
that's
Nick.
good.
I was going to
But-
shout you out, Nick, and also shout out the comment, just the point that I've never met either of you. So
Well,
I'm
that
just
is-
here on this
That's
podcast.
okay. That's fine. I mean,
Like, well, I just want the audience at home. You know, John keeps calling them the listeners, but presumably if they're on YouTube, they're the viewers.
that's
well,
true.
but we're technically on Spotify. So
yeah,
this
but
is
John,
later,
you're,
but
yeah,
what
but
about right
you're
now?
behind, John. You're way behind
But,
on that.
but
So,
but I explained the reason, and we
well,
need to get
I think
faster,
less
so I agree
excuses,
with
more.
that.
I think less explaining of the reasons and
Oh.
more just doing.
Guess what, Nick?
I feel like if you're a listener, you're even more confused because if you're the
Yeah.
viewer and you're watching it right now, you can see everything that's happening,
True,
including my
yeah.
sort of like, what's going on?
Yeah,
if you're
your
the
WTF
listener,
expression.
there's zero context to
Yeah.
whoever the hell I am. No one even
Yeah.
I
knows.
don't even. I like. Who knows, right?
Nobody knows.
Well,
Nobody knows.
Everyone knows who Minoru Yamasaki is, except for Nick.
Well, I'm sorry.
So,
I'm less Japanese than you.
so
are.
do you want to know why I like this guy so much, Nick?
It has to do something to do with math or quantitative. Subject matter is
Yeah,
reasonable.
there's some math involved. So
I mean, as
He
an architect, I
actually-
hope so.
he designed the original twin towers of the World Trade Center in New
Oh.
York City. But more
So,
than that,
I imagine he is now deceased based on.
what is he? I think that he actually
Because the World Trade Centers were the original ones, right? Or the new ones?
Yes, the original one, but
'Cause those were
He
constructed
is
in what,
deceased,
like
according to the
six-
internet.
the 60s?
I'm not actually sure about his actual his status of life.
He's dead.
Is he
Okay, so
it was
all right.
probably it was
Okay, so what's the point you're
died
trying to
in
make here, John?
1986.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So
what's
he died before I was born.
But like why I've always liked him is that he also had some major influence in Detroit architecture.
oh okay.
So if you go around some of the buildings on the Wayne State campus or in downtown Detroit, you can see some of the same like style of building as the original World Trade Center. So I think it's really cool to walk around there, and I know that, well, right now, I'm also a Detroit Historical Society and and Detroit Historical Museum member.
Okay.
And so right now, they are having an upcoming display from July 17th through October 3rd on Exile to Motown, a history of Japanese Americans in Detroit. So I thought that I would throw that out there that I think that anyone in the Detroit area or anyone coming through, if you want to know about Japanese Americans in Detroit, the Detroit Historical Museum is the place to go, starting July 17th.
Do you want to know more, John?
Well, you know what?
You didn't even know
course
that he
I
was
do.
still alive, so I assume you do.
Yeah,
need
of course
to learn
I do,
more.
because I'm a member at the museum.
But John, I mean, when I've brought up Japanese anything before, you've shown
Well,
various levels of hesitation in the past.
Yes, but I
Showing
actually
his,
do like
systemic
Yamasaki.
his feelings
and-
of.
yeah.
Perhaps I don't want to throw terms around, but
Well, yeah, but
perhaps.
Yamasaki, I think actually, like if you look at his buildings, even that are like his style of architecture that are still around in Detroit, the buildings are phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yes, phenomenal. It's the
So what you're saying is, John, you are capable of appreciating something that is Japanese based.
Well, Japanese American.
Okay, so what is?
Because
I mean,
I
it's still-
don't think that Asian Americans get enough credit for the things that they do. So
Oh,
I want
that's
to,
fair.
yeah. So I want to be clear on the fact that this is specifically about like the Japanese American like
Okay.
influence in Detroit.
All right.
Because we're not talking about like the Japanese people who might come and work for like on a side project for a year and then go back to Japan. We're not talking about them.
Okay.
We're
I
talking
mean, a
about
lot of
people who actually like care about this country, and Yamasaki actually died in Detroit. So
Oh.
He was born in Seattle, apparently.
yeah,
according to
and
the
born in
internet.
Seattle. So
Oh, okay. So he was really an American.
Japanese American. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, so I think that he's somebody I think who should be celebrated. Like as one of the people whose like work is like recognizable.
Okay.
So there you go, Nick. You heard me say something great about Japanese Americans.
Well, I'm sure. Hopefully, we have some listeners in Novi. I'm sure they'll appreciate this
Why are you singling out the people in Novi?
because that's the largest Japanese population within the greater Detroit area.
Yeah, but there's no reason to single them out.
I mean,
Just trying to put awareness to the highest
Well, maybe
proportions.
yeah, but maybe they don't want to be noticed. Maybe that's
Well-
why they went to Novi, so that they would be not noticed.
What's your logic here?
Well, just why not, right?
Well, you could say
But-
the opposite, though, John. Maybe they went there because they do want to be noticed.
You know what, Nick? Just eat your Jello.
I wish I had some, but I don't.
You know why, Nick? Because it's National Eat Your Jello Day.
Oh, is that actually a real thing, or did
Yeah,
you
it
just
is.
declare
It's-
that now?
It's every July 12th. So, Nick, what year do you think National
I don't care.
Jello Day started?
I don't care
about
because
it.
unless you give me some Jello, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Well, I
Wait,
mean,
John, is National Eat Your Jello Day different than National Jello Day on its own?
well, I have no idea. Like, it's like eat your shorts, Nick.
So does that mean, in theory, any National Food Something Day has some other day that is National Eat Whatever that food is day?
Well, I don't think that there actually is a National Jello Day, ironically, but there
That-
is.
So you're just making stuff up again?
No,
Yeah,
but
well,
there-
that's
Today is
per usual.
National Eat Your Jello Day, but Nick, there is a National Jello Day that I could find, but there is a National Jello Week.
Oh, so it's a whole week. Okay.
It's the
So they're giving it
second
even
full week in
more attention.
February.
All right.
So you get a whole.
Apparently, it is National Eat Your Jello Day here in
Yeah.
Utah, where I am right now. So, because
good.
Utah does love
Good.
Jello, I am not eating any Jello. I'm really blowing it holiday wise.
Well, I mean, John didn't do a good job of making everybody aware ahead of time.
Well, I mean, you asked.
Or I would have gone
for-
out and bought some Jello snack packs.
You asked
go.
for a lot, Nick.
Am I
think
really?
That I can bring awareness to every cause in the world.
Well,
It seems like that's your thing. That's the way the podcast started. That
Oh,
was
yeah,
like one of the
but
You're
it
first
right.
is
You're
things.
right.
also-
Yeah,
it is
John. I'm
also
sorry.
national-
You're getting lawyered pretty good here.
Well, that's okay because it's also National Pecan Pie Day
Ooh, I would like some of that too.
with your Jello.
No, separate.
Yeah,
Why
two
would you,
two separate plates.
why
I don't
would
want
you
that to
eat
mix.
two separate plates.
The most
So you
important
want-
thing, and I want everyone to know who's on Spotify listening.
No,
is
nobody's
that-
on Spotify listening
Yeah,
right
no,
now
no,
because
but if
John's
they-
like 3 months behind on
Oh,
uploading.
but-
Well,
we'll be-
eventually, when they
we'll be-
listen,
we'll be updated soon.
you know, out of context of watching, most important thing that I wanted to comment on is that Nick is completely color coordinated with his shirt, hat, and Yeti microphone.
Yes, thank you.
and so I was pretty impressed by that to begin with, and especially would have been even more impressed had you pulled out some Jello and it was red. That would have really sealed the deal.
Well,
I could go
you
with some
know
red
what?
Jello,
You
but
can, you can always be impressed that I have some honey butter almonds right here. So
I would have been more impressed had you pulled out Jello in that moment because that would have
Well-
really, again, sealed the deal
Yeah.
of the bit from the beginning to the
you know
end.
Yeah.
what?
yeah,
Like I
Great observations, Chris.
unfortunately don't have anything except for, well, you can't actually see it, but my Make America Tacos Again shirt.
I saw that. Nice. I
So-
assumed it was a taco just from the very small part. Do you have a stand? You also have a standing desk.
I also do have a standing desk, but it also is motorized and it could go up or
An
down
adjustable desk.
at
yeah.
any moment.
John, you should have had some tacos right now to coordinate. I know it's not
No,
Tuesday.
it's not
but
Tuesday, it's
we
Monday.
had tacos yesterday, Nick.
Well, you should have
I
ordered
had
some
a
extras and
version of
saved them
some
for today.
tacos.
You
But
both
you
had
know
tacos
what?
together?
Yes.
Oh, see, again, not knowing literally anything about Nick.
Oh, well,
I wasn't even aware that he lived in the same place aside from when he spouted off random Detroit facts.
Yeah.
That's kind of when I sort
well,
of was
that's
like,
okay.
John
It-
doesn't
it
do
really
a good
is
job
okay.
of
But
notifying people of information that might be pertinent to the
Zero
situation.
information. Zero
you know
information.
what, Nick? I'm going to keep.
Why don't you do the podcast in person then?
Well, yeah, it's always a possibility. But you know what, Nick? I'm going to
We don't live that close to each other.
allow your word to hold true that trivia will happen in about 10 minutes from the time you said. So
Oh, good.
it's time
Good.
for a commercial break.
Oh, finally, I need one.
There's commercial breaks?
Thank you for listening to
It's
Funny
not really a
as Fuck
commercial.
We'll
it's a
be back with
self-promo.
more right after this break.
Well, I guess it's commercial technically.
For yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, for
yeah,
John, not for
yeah,
me.
Because I need a
That's
break
true.
from Nick's National Town Crier Day news.
Are they hearing and seeing us still during this portion or?
No.
Okay, so
They can
like
hear,
Oh.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
so
they
now it'll be
cannot-
and we're back.
Yeah, and
Well,
we are back.
No.
So,
Should be more of that. You're right.
oh,
No segueing. No segueing.
I don't know if there needs to be a segue. I don't know.
You have professional interstitials. You would think that there'd be some segues.
You know what? I don't want to.
John likes to blend.
Yeah, I don't.
He's a
Like,
blender.
You know, like the professional way. You don't hear the gaps in the sound, so we just let it flow.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So, today is also National Simplicity Day. So,
John, I think we overuse the theme of National Fill in the Blank Day.
well, you know what, Nick? You have a lot of complaints.
It's just an observation.
Well, what kind
Was this always the plan, trivia wise, or did you pull this out of out of the context of everything else we've been
Wait.
talking about up until now?
Well,
Actually, I
there's
don't even
always
know.
been trivia.
John, what is the trivia topic tonight?
Well,
It's always a mystery.
it really is.
It's
but-
not math or Korean culture. Those are the two topics I see as part of the headline of the
It
podcast.
can be on occasion, but it really rotates through the whole gamut of possibilities.
Well, yes, but this is math related trivia about National Simplicity Day. So the
I'm,
topic is
I'm failing to see the correlation, but
The
I'll
topic
I'll
is-
hear you out.
National Simplicity Day by the numbers.
What is National Simplicity Day? I mean, what does that mean? I don't.
Well, the reason why I thought that this would be a great topic today, Nick, is because I have a Pinterest account now. And while
All
you're
right.
on Pinterest, Nick,
No.
Oh well, that's okay. And so I've
What does
always
this have
had
to
a
do with anything?
I always have had a Pinterest account, but I never really used it up until recently
Okay.
when I started seeing I was taking a Korean language class and I started seeing things on the internet like pictures that would be helpful to me in my studies, like a, a picture or a chart of the 10 common most used like verbs in Korean or something like that.
All
And then I
right.
realized, what would be the easiest way to save all of these pictures all in one spot rather than downloading them and then saving them on my phone or somewhere like that. And then I thought of Pinterest. Well,
Okay.
then of course, Pinterest starts suggesting other things that I might like to pin. And some of these things are based off of how ways to simplify your life. So here's to, like, I'm going to take a shot of soju. So here's to simplifying your life, Nick.
Okay.
Just
I
Nick's life
guess-
though.
Yeah. Right.
So National
I guess that makes
Simplicity
sense. You know,
Day-
the soju,
is-
you just drink your problems away.
Well, no,
That
like National
simplifies your life.
Simplicity Day is just a way to like celebrate getting back to the basic necessities and like clearing out the clutter out of your life.
Okay. All right.
So, and a chance to reflect and take stock on what really matters the most to us. And you know what, Nick? Your friendship is one of the things that's at the top of my list.
Thank
So
you,
when I
John.
simplify and
It's
like
very heartfelt.
and
Yes.
clear out my
yes,
friends list,
Yes.
you are not
Chris
going
has
to be
got all
one
the
of the people who
expressions.
gets blocked. And Chris, you won't be either.
Wait.
Do you
Say that again.
regularly block people?
Say that again, John. I'm getting blocked.
No, I said you will be one of the people who won't get blocked.
Why are you blocking people all of a sudden?
Well, because it's National Simplicity Day and somebody has to go.
That
Is that how you
sounds-
celebrate the holiday? That seems like a
sounds-
different holiday.
Yeah, like National
Oh.
Ghosting Day,
Hmm.
I don't know, maybe. So
Is there a national block your friends day?
probably.
I'm sure there is.
John
Clean
will
out your friends
declare it.
list. Yeah,
He'll declare it.
a week
Yeah,
from
just-
now.
There'll be
next
some
week.
day.
Take
John
your,
will say it.
take your friends to the trash day.
I hope this is a new bit. Again, next week. Every week you need to start the podcast. This is assuming, given this is the only podcast I've ever been a part of yours, and the only one I've ever heard or listened to. My assumption is that every podcast starts with you declaring a national holiday.
It has not in the past, but now
But
that he is
Heretofore,
yeah.
I hope that it is now
Hear
next
ye,
week.
hear ye.
You declare another
normally,
holiday.
normally he just runs through whatever the pre-established
Oh,
national whatever days it is. But now
you
that
actually okay. So
But
it's
now
still
that
you
he-
declare holidays.
Yeah.
he's,
So
well, yeah, he's going to be declaring new ones now, probably every week to start.
well, you never know.
And of
Because,
course, speaking for
you know-
people worldwide in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Nick, like for the month of like May and June,
Sounds a lot like a dictatorship.
it was my student of the week segment. We
You
haven't
had a-
done that in July yet.
No, and John, to be honest, I think you should damper that because I wanted one of these students of the week to join as a guest sometime, and I've yet to see one.
Well,
Do you give them permission, or do they give you permission to declare them as
He
a
doesn't
student
even
of the
know
week?
these
Oh,
people.
no.
He doesn't even know these people.
I mean, they're his students. He knows them at least.
No,
a
No,
little.
no,
they're-
they're not
they're-
his students.
they're-
They're just
they're
They're
random
general students. They're general
Yeah.
they're
students.
students
Okay,
who have
okay.
made
That's somewhat
the
more
news.
acceptable. Okay.
Yeah, for something exciting. But all right, Chris, I'll let you pick first. Would you like to go first, or would you like Nick to go first?
I have no idea what I'm going first in.
I don't either.
All right, Chris. So you get to go first.
Okay, I will.
So,
Wow.
what is
Guess first.
the average number of items in an American home?
What the hell does that mean?
Well, it's National Simplicity Day. So the
Well-
first thing that you have to do to assess the situation is know how many items you might have to potentially
Way too
clear
many.
out
What
of your home.
constitutes an item? Like if you have like a bowl of rice, does every individual grain of it count as one?
Well, I
Or
think,
does the
like,
bowl itself
bag-
with the
like
rice
the
count as
bag
one?
of rice would be an item.
Okay.
So Now, Chris, what are your thoughts?
On how many items a person has.
Well, the average American home has. So, some homes have lots of people, some homes have.
Boy, that's a good
just,
question.
Just a hint, Chris, if you want to get this question right, just say any number between greater than 0 up to infinity.
Oh, I see.
Well,
You'll be
it's-
correct.
Game the system.
it's
Well, I don't
it's
game
a-
anything.
It's
John
above 200,000. So
Oh, it is above 200,000. Wow. See, I was gonna guess less, but despite the way my room looks, or this particular room I'm in, my office, I actually don't have a lot of items otherwise. So I get my guess was much lower.
but it is less than 400,000.
Oh, good.
300,000.
Yes, that's exactly right. So that was worth 300,000 points.
That's a
So
pretty
plus
round
the
number, John.
500
That's the average.
Yeah, it said
That's
average.
that's a pretty round number.
Well, you know what, Nick? Did you want to go and count the items in everyone's home?
I hope
And
not.
tell them
Who
that
did
they're
that
wrong.
either?
Like,
What was the data gathering method for this
I'm
project?
guessing there was some like software algorithm that there were some inputs and it just spit out an
no,
average.
actually,
Actually, the
what-
fact that it was exactly 300,000 as the number they're giving means that it was
So-
probably just made up by John 2 minutes
no.
ago.
So here's what since the specifics aren't really here of the exact study.
Oh, of
Here's
course, there's no
what I'm
Oh,
source.
so no
gathering.
source is what you're saying. You're just citing
John's
citing facts.
websites, his
Facts.
resource websites are all on
No,
the
like,
dark
so-
dark net.
The information was based off of like when people go to Goodwill or other charitable organizations and declutter their items, they have to sort of declare for tax reimbursement or purposes how many items and the estimate.
If they're itemizing their deductions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then those people are the people that they took all of those people and asked, like, how many items do you think that you have in your home total? And then that's going to be probably a rounded number. So, because that's how people are when they're asked to estimate their weight, they usually round to the nearest 5 or 10 pounds. So you're not going to get an exact number. So that's where these numbers came from. But Chris, very good. You got 300,000 points.
I mean, you kind of handed it to me. But
That's
I'll
the
take it.
typical protocol
Oh.
here.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I'll
Nick?
still accept the praise.
Yeah,
So-
sure, might as well.
Now, these self-storage spaces, Nick, like these
I do. I'm
self-storage
aware.
units where
I'm aware of what those are. Yes.
Okay, so how many square feet of self-storage space is available for every man, woman, and child in America? Now, I will say that this specifically only counted the people who answered the survey as a man, a woman, or a child. So,
So if someone's dog answered it, then that doesn't
well,
count.
no, like
towards
if
the stats.
somebody didn't identify as a man or a woman or a child and gave it, and then they wouldn't have been counted in like the.
So non-binary people do not get storage, is what you're saying.
Well,
no,
but,
like,
but
they-
then he
they
said
weren't-
child because child doesn't imply a gender; it implies an age group.
Well, yeah. So
It
like,
is
that's
confusing.
why I mean, like it's saying like like anyone who
the average people.
yeah, average people. Nick.
John,
So
it's for
I'm
human.
trying to give you a
So John,
a
it's the
heads up,
total.
Nick,
It's the
to try to
total
give you
amount
a
of
chance to actually
self-storage
get
square
one
footage
right for
divided by the
once.
population of America. It doesn't matter gender. I mean,
Well, yeah,
I don't-
but I'm trying to give you a chance to actually get one right for once. So I'm trying to give you a hint, Nick.
I don't think you are. I think you're giving me.
All right. So
useless
what is your
hints.
guess, Nick? Number of square feet here.
per person? So the U.S. population is like what, 350 or 400
Yep.
million?
Okay, so you know what?
Point-
Since you're what?
Point 0.6 square
That's
feet.
not even close. It's 7.3. So that's minus
I would have guessed more.
minus 300,000
That
points.
seems awfully. Ooh, that seems like
But,
an awful
You know
lot.
what? Let me
but-
get back to the comments for a minute. So, you know
Are there
what?
comments?
Yeah, there are comments. So,
Can I ask
His
some
own-
questions before we
own.
get to comments?
yeah, so people do want to know who you are, Chris. So,
Okay.
Jordan, that was from Jordan. So,
Feel free to
Jordan.
give as much or as little information.
Yeah, I
Don't-
really want to
don't-
know.
Don't just oblige, John.
well, okay. So go ahead, Chris. What's your question? Don't let Nick interrupt.
No, I'm
you.
supposed to answer. I'm supposed to answer your question, right? Who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I? That's a good question. I
That
feel like
seems
I'd like.
more so, John.
Yeah, I feel like I'd like. I mean, I have zero context. What do they know about the two of you?
Oh well, all I can say
Probably
is
too much.
that you know what, Katie? Guess what? You should follow me on Pinterest because I would definitely enjoy that if you did. So that
If
would
you're
be
also
great.
trying to learn Korean.
Yeah, or I do have a pin board for that's called Animals that really has stuff about National Simplicity Day and decluttering your life, but I've been too lazy to rename it from Animals. I think there's only one pin on that pin board about an animal. And then I have one pin board about math, and I have no idea what the other ones are. But Krista, I'm glad you find this is hilarious, but you know what? I don't feel that way about all of Nick's jokes, but that's okay. So now
I enjoy
Chris-
his asides. I gotta say,
yeah. So
the dynamic is enjoyable.
Chris, I'm giving you 500,000 points just for for being so kind to the listeners. So there you go. So
I'll
Nick,
take them.
Yeah, just
it's
take just
time for your next.
just run with
Well,
it.
what about? Okay.
don't ask for explanations. That's
So
the last thing you want to do.
now, Nick,
It's like when the police let you go, just like don't ask any
what
questions.
Yeah,
is
just like
the-
thank you. Good night.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
of course, you're going to complain about this, Nick, but this is just like an estimate of the amount of money spent by Americans annually on non-essential goods.
How do we determine what's not essential?
Well,
Also-
you didn't want a hint the last question, so you're not getting at this question.
What about the question needs to be more defined? This is a poorly written question. The question, what about like what do you mean the amount over their lifetime, over today,
No,
over
Is it a
annually.
dollar amount
annually.
or
Yeah, the annual amount,
annually?
like annual total amount spent by all Americans on non-essential goods.
so it's not an average, it's the total amount
yes,
in America?
Oh, for everybody,
yes,
Oh,
for
God.
300 million people.
Yep.
Oof.
So, what do you think, Nick?
Okay, so 300 million. So if obviously they all spend way more than 1,000 each on it, but if they did spend 1,000 each, that'd be 300 billion.
Was that your final answer?
No. I'm still doing math here.
Figuring it out. He's figuring it out.
Oh,
Math.
so there is math on this show. Okay, so let's see. Well, all right, Nick. Here,
10,
here.
10,
wait, Nick. Before
10.
you give your final answer,
Yeah.
if you give it in one and get it right, I'll give you an extra 500 billion points.
What if I don't answer it in won? What if I answer it in US dollars and still get it right?
Then I'll give you 500 points.
The conversions. All right.
Yeah.
I'm too lazy to convert. Plus, I'm not going to get it right anyways.
All right. So go ahead, Nick. What is your guess?
10 trillion.
So close. 1.2 trillion. 1.2 trillion.
That seems
Close, relatively, I guess.
that seems low considering
Well-
there was like wasn't Congress just mulling over a $3 trillion
That's a
Yes,
lot.
but this
I feel
was
like also.
only including non-essential goods. So
Well, okay, so what kind of things are considered non-essential then? Now
Yeah,
that
that's a
the
good
question's
question.
over.
you know what? That would be anything that really you would get rid of on National Simplicity Day.
Here's an important question. Where does Jello fall?
So, you know what, Nick? Jello is essential.
What's the factor on that?
Because it's food, it's consumable.
Yeah, because it's food. Yep.
So all food. So if it's meant for consumption, then it falls under the essential category.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I
I don't
wouldn't.
know if I agree with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider caviar essential.
But
See, no,
Jello is essential.
like similarly, like alcohol would be inessential. Like that is not something
Yeah.
that is essential to survival.
But
It is for John.
but
I mean,
Jello,
in general, sure, but
Jello, I would say.
Could you imagine?
Though,
Can you imagine him getting through the show without soju? I mean,
I don't know what it would be like. This is literally the first time I've ever
Oh,
spoken
you
to
know
John in
what?
person. Like,
but
in
then
person.
again, this
Time
show is
or-
also probably non-essential.
Oh,
yeah.
so for National Simplicity Today, the show should be. You should celebrate by not having the show.
Oh, it's too late now. We're
Hang
Well,
up.
you know what?
half
Go
through it.
over.
You know what?
Exit music.
We can
Yeah,
celebrate
It's the
with.
same as the starting music.
Yeah, we can
Oh.
celebrate with the
Theme
commercial
music.
break, Nick, because it seems like you might need.
Wait,
one
wait,
now.
John. John? Can you please one to say who the winner of trivia was tonight, and two what the prize is?
Well,
Oh.
yes, but right after this break, Nick.
No, not. Oh, geez.
Yeah, right after the break, Nick. Like this is what happens on
John, you're
live
losing
TV, right?
viewership right here. All right.
Well,
I mean,
You're-
he is sort of inspiring people to stay tuned.
yeah. Stay tuned.
Or get the
for
They
hell
don't know who
out.
I am still,
Yeah, so
or
stay
but it's fine.
tuned
Stay
for
tuned.
the-
I think they're already gone.
winner of the trivia. Yep, the trivia winner will be announced right after this.
Boy.
Thank you for listening to Funny is Part of My Name.
The struggle.
We'll be back with more right after this break.
Oh, you know what? I wonder if I have enough time to go get the Jello now.
No, you don't.
Really?
No, do not eat Jello in front of me. That is not fair.
Well, I have Margaret cookies.
You have what cookies?
Oh, where's your Margaret cookies, Nick? Do you have them nearby?
What is a
No,
Margaret cookie?
they're a Korean little snack cookie
Huh.
from Lotte.
I'll look it up.
I have
Margaret.
my snack bar over there, some Margaret cookies, and you know what?
Oh. I've never had those. Huh.
It might be a good day for a Margaret.
Oh, from Lotte.
cookie.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
They're
Authentic
pretty
soft cookie,
Yeah, they're soft cookies. They're
which is crispy on the outside and soft inside.
you know
I wouldn't
what?
say they're crispy on the outside. It's a little rigid on the outside, but I wouldn't
know
call it
what?
crispy.
It kind of tastes like in the middle, Nick. Like there's something Jello like in the middle.
No, there's definitely not.
Well,
The middle part is nothing like Jello.
well, all right. So
Like,
Have
I
you
didn't-
ever warmed it in the microwave? That's what the
No,
internet
but that
suggests.
sounds like a great idea.
Actually-
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
that-
If you want to get a better taste of Margaret, which is a weird thing to say, but
It's not gonna 20. I mean, for those little cookies, no, that's way too much.
well, in my
maybe
microwave
10.
it would be though.
hey, show
If
hold
I
up the
can-
cookie. I didn't see how large they were. I want to see.
They're-
They're like the
they're-
size of a golf ball.
They're
across.
yeah,
So they're
they're
pretty small.
Yeah.
They're pretty small. Like
Okay,
you know,
okay.
like it, but they come two to a pack.
So it's like 10 seconds
maybe
each.
I can see 20 seconds. Maybe if you put like a whole box of them on a plate.
But
and
you
try
probably
and-
don't want to put them in from the box because
Well,
they
yeah.
still have the foil wrap around.
Just so everyone is absolutely clear, if you are listening on YouTube or Spotify later, do not put the Margaret cookies in the microwave with the wrapper still on them.
Unless you want to have sparks.
Well, we don't want
Destroy your
our
microwave.
listeners to have sparks because
This
we want
podcast
them-
does not endorse
Yes, we don't
microwaving
endorse
cookies in foil.
Does
any
not.
dangerous behavior like that, Nick.
John, podcast winner and prize announcement, please.
So, Nick, guess what? Jello does have some health benefits.
John, you're getting off topic.
Well,
The
you know
audience
what?
is waiting.
Katie says
Jesus.
Jello is sick. Remember that from a few weeks ago, Nick? Like sick. You didn't
I do
know what that
remember that.
meant. Yeah, so that means like
I do remember, John. I was here.
Yeah, so like just remember that still means Jello's good, and guess what? Here
Not
are some of the-
necessarily. She could also be implying that it's disgusting.
Well, you know what? I would
Made of hooves.
yeah, but
That
all
is
I can
true.
say
It is Jello
is-
is not vegan.
Well, yeah, but that's okay because Jello is healthy.
Hey,
Because-
Jenny, is she the one who's commenting? Clarify what you mean by Jello is sick.
Well,
Is that a good sick
all
or
I
a
can
bad sick?
say is that it is however the reader takes it to be. So
John, the reader.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm reading the comment. So I
Oh,
Oh, so
I'm
your
going to-
interpretation is that it's
yeah.
Yes.
So I'm
It was
Here's
also
John.
your interpretation that it was some national holiday today. though.
yeah. So I'm going to
National Calculus Day.
interpret
calculus,
all of
teacher
the positive,
Jello.
like all of the comments
Town
on
crier.
YouTube as being positive, because people
Oh.
would never say anything negative about our show.
Speaking
Do
of
people say
positive,
negative things on that show?
Yeah, I mean they should
probably only me.
because
Oh, I-
we're the best show there is.
So
I
how
assume
would
they're-
I've already determined that.
so who's the winner,
best.
John?
So
The audience is waiting.
So Nick, wait a second. You haven't let me give the health
We've waited
benefits
way
of
more than a
Joel
second.
yet, and the listeners have been waiting for this.
Is this how the podcast
Oh.
always?
Basically, yeah.
I do enjoy the
So-
dynamic.
No, Jello. All right, Jello.
John, the audience is ready to sign off because they're sick of waiting.
Well,
I'm ready to sign off because I'm sick of waiting.
you know what?
National
Nick?
Simplicity Day.
Yeah.
You're
So,
right. If I log off, my life becomes a lot simpler tonight. You're
We're
right.
supposed to remove ourselves from technology. That's one of the
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you,
about
Chris.
National Simplicity Day.
So even though
Thank you for pointing that out.
He's ruining my
Jello-
National Simplicity Day.
I
though
agree.
may have hooves in it, I will say though it does have some gelatin in it.
Yeah, that's the
And-
hooves.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's
That's the
my whole
animal part.
point. Like the gelatin part of Jello.
I think you can get
Oof.
I think you can get
You can
vegetarian
get
gelatin. though.
non-gelatin Jello.
Well, it's artificial, I'm sure. Which
Yeah,
would
like,
arguably
it's-
be much worse, honestly.
I mean, you can use like cornstarch, I think, or something like that.
Chemicals,
This is
just full
unbelievable.
of chemicals.
Exactly.
Just eat the gelatin, the hooves.
I can't believe this.
Do you regularly choose gelatin? Is that something you enjoy? Like, would you,
Well,
if you're at a
no.
dessert table and
all I
there's
enjoy
Jello?
is the soju.
No,
Like
no.
I'm just curious. This is a question generally.
No, not me personally.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I dislike Jello. It's just not something I would typically.
It's not top of the
choose.
list.
Yeah, it's pretty. Maybe what about pudding, like a snack pack?
I'd much rather have pudding than Jello.
Yeah.
So, Chris, I have great news. As this week's trivia winner,
Oh,
You
look!
have-
Finally,
now won.
What?
Right? Yeah. You have won drink tickets with me and Nick at next year's con
Wait,
conference in Denver.
tickets.
Yeah.
So plural. How many does that include?
Well,
Good question.
Chris, that means you get at least 2 drinks.
On both of you? So 4 drinks?
Why not? All right. And then
I probably-
two more drinks on the show, so 6
John
total.
will probably charge
6
them all
drinks?
to me.
Oh, ooh.
John will probably charge the whole 6-pack to me.
Well, you know what, Nick?
There'll be a
That's
case
okay.
by the time the show's
Done.
over.
Don't worry. I will fully take you up on.
I'll just give you a flat of soju.
Ooh,
So,
I will
Chris-
fully accept that. I'll send you my address after the show is over.
No, I'll
Krista,
provide it.
Still
next year.
wants to know who you are, Chris. So
Wait, John wants to
Leave it
know
up.
who I am?
oh, Krista does.
Just leave it a mystery.
So go ahead,
Don't
Chris.
don't give it away. No, don't give it
Yeah.
away.
Yeah,
Well, again,
don't
I want-
give away who you are.
He's Chris.
Don't do it.
Well, the real question I want to know, first off, is what have you? Okay, goodbye. What? Oh, look at you got a little fridge in there.
He has a mini fridge in literally every room of
Oh
his
yeah,
house.
like I ran out of soju, so now
So now
I
you're
have
getting a
some
brother
soda.
soda?
So
See,
there's
I don't
my
even know what that
brother's
is
soda.
either.
It's like a really weak alcoholic cocktail, like a
Huh.
wine cooler. in a
But
can.
yeah, but this
Brown
one
Korea.
is apple
Yeah.
flavored. So the
It's
apple
pretty
flavor
good.
actually
It is
I
pretty
just-
good.
See, I'm like a real alcoholic, so I just like the soju that has no flavor. Like I like the one that tastes like alcohol, personally.
Well, you know what, Chris?
So I don't have any of
That's-
these cocktails.
That's actually what we I had on Saturday night when I went to Norabong and
Ooh.
Nick decided he did not want to sing.
You
'Cause
went
I
to
wasn't
Norabong
there.
and didn't sit.
I wasn't
You didn't even
there.
go.
Right, yeah, right. But
Okay,
Nick,
okay.
you had you were invited.
John, how do you know I wasn't singing somewhere else?
True.
Well, but you missed a great show for me.
That's
mean, were there
probably
other-
true.
Were there other people there too?
Yeah, there definitely were. So
It is a good
Definitely.
show. It is a good show when John's at NRB. I will agree with that.
yeah, I mean, I think that I am
That's always fun. It's been so long since I've gone. I would be.
actually, it really is a fun time. And
I mean, it's never not a fun time.
yeah,
Right,
It's
well,
your
Yeah.
stick in the mud. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there was a bad, like a sketchy situation
Oh, boy.
a few weeks ago when I found out that the location that I go to no longer has cheese sticks, so I had to get some Japanese fried chicken instead.
And that was the only complaint you had.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it is a complaint because I wanted cheese sticks.
That's fair, I guess. Okay.
I mean, who doesn't like cheese sticks?
In the past, when we've gone to this one, he orders an exorbitant amount of mozzarella sticks.
An exorbitant
Oh,
amount.
no,
It doesn't
like they
affect your gastrointestinal
Oh,
situation.
me? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
Oh, I mean, well,
I
John,
really have
either
no
of you.
choice. Like they only sell them 30 at a time.
What the?
Like you have
30?
I don't
Yeah,
think they
have a
come in
plate of
quantities of 30, but that's the quantity that John orders.
30 is so many.
Yeah,
I
like
mean-
when we were there, like right before the pandemic started, John ordered at least that many. I mean, the staff
Damn.
worker
Okay.
rolled in like a cart with a platter,
Oh,
and there's just
cheese.
a
Just
mound of them.
a mound of fried cheese.
Who
Yeah.
doesn't love cheese
Respect,
that
respect.
much?
Yeah.
Respect.
Well,
I mean, I like cheese that much, but to that point,
there is a limit.
and
Yeah.
also, like, I just don't. Yeah, I don't think it would go well.
We're dealing with Asian people here.
Yeah,
Well-
again, that's why I'm surprised that you're able to eat 30 cheese sticks.
Oh
did-
no, I,
had
didn't
like
eat 30
3.
cheese sticks.
Oh, you
But-
shared them with the rest of the group?
Well,
Yeah,
John
but-
had about. I mean, if there were 30, John must have had 20 or 25 of them.
A high majority.
No, that's
Yeah.
not quite true.
John,
Like,
I'm a little disappointed because they didn't bring dipping sauce for them.
Oh, that's kind
But-
of weird.
Yeah.
I know,
No,
are they
but-
American cheese sticks? They're not like, because it's a
Yeah.
Norabang place, or are you just calling it Norabang and it's
No.
a
No,
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 like-
it is.
no,
It
these
is.
were actually like breaded in the style that you would get like street cheese sticks in Korea. Like
It's the same kind
so
of
like a
br-
so
no,
like that
They
same
were
type
exactly the same as any other
Fine.
mozzarella.
of,
stick
no,
you've
they
ever
were
had.
that like a they had the
They didn't have fries around them or anything else, like, you know.
There were
like-
no,
no
but they
fries.
had special like they had that special breading on them, if that makes sense.
Which
like
is
they
the same
weren't the
breadcrumbs
same
you
type
get
of-
anywhere.
Cheese stick I could get anywhere.
Now I really want cheese sticks.
yeah,
not
and you
30.
know what?
Not 30.
Gosh, I wonder, man. God, I just can't even imagine eating 30 cheese sticks.
No,
I like them, but boy,
You'd be in the bathroom from now
it'd be
until
bad. Yeah, it would
Christmas.
it would not go well. It would just wouldn't go well.
You would have to wear a diaper.
That's a very
for a month.
that's a very optimistic
No.
perspective. Again, like I tend to think that my lactose intolerance has gotten better over my
Oh,
as I
mine
got
hasn't.
older.
Mine gets worse.
Mine
even
got I think mine got better, but I still don't have that kind of optimism to eat 25 cheese sticks.
But
Oh, no, me
like,
neither.
Out and about
but
at Norabang.
I will say
maybe
though
like I
that-
eat 25 cheese sticks over the course of like a year.
If I was home, maybe
Right
I'd be like,
out.
I guess I'm gonna eat
Yeah.
25, or I was just really drunk, then maybe I'd eat
I
25
guess
cheese
now
sticks.
that I think about it, I've had cheese at every meal today. So I guess.
You have a strong Midwestern tolerance for dairy.
Well, no, I
Yes, he
really
does.
don't. Like I really.
you
have
just live with the regret.
Yeah, I really.
But John,
do,
cheese is
because
an
life
essential
short.
item in the house. Is it not?
Well, you know
Probably.
what?
Yeah.
I really don't have any. Oh well, I do have a. Box
You have a
of cheese
fridge
somewhere.
there. Do you have
He has
cheese
so
sticks?
many mini fridges.
No,
I mean, respect.
no, because my refrigerator, my.
Can I ask
home
personal
refrigerator
questions?
Currently is not
For him,
working.
yeah. Why not?
I mean,
He'll give
I
you
just-
personal answers.
There you go. Well, again, just generally. So this goes back to the original viewer comment about me asking the questions. What do they know about the two of you? You
Oh,
know? and
wow.
and relatively also, I don't really know much about the two of you, if anything. So the question would be, do you live alone, John?
Well, I would say about 40% of the like no, like 40 to 60% of the year I live alone.
What is the other 40 to 60%?
Don't.
The
When has
struggle is
any
real.
when has any
But-
answer he's given made sense?
But
to me?
guess what?
That's fair.
Guess what? It's now.
Do you have roommates? I
Fine.
guess is my question because you have a fridge in your room.
But the good news
That's all for
is
him.
that it
Nothing wrong
is
with that.
almost time for our last commercial break of the show, and Chris you know what? This is something
No
that
idea.
that you probably were not expecting, but
I mean, I had zero expectations.
so
I still haven't gotten
after-
any answers. I have half a million points, and it's National Soju Day and National Calculus Day and
Yeah,
National Simplicity
exactly.
Day.
So I think you know
And National
Yeah,
Microwave
National
Your
Peaches
Latte
Yellow Day.
Margaret Cookies Day.
But
Oh, that's a, yeah. Add that one to the list.
after
You have
the
to buy those next time
last
at the store.
commercial break here, it is time for Nick's final joke of the week.
Even though it's Monday.
Well, yeah, but it's still your
He has
final
no more
joke of the
jokes.
week, Nick.
No, I cannot
There
make
won't
one
be any
again
more
until
after
Sunday.
this. Yep. So get ready, Nick. You have
I'm never ready.
well, you
These
have
segments
20
are-
seconds until your joke of the week.
Thank you for listening
Not
to
enough
Final
time.
Part of My Name. We'll be back with more right
Tom
after
refuses
this
to
break.
reveal his living status.
Well, I live alone all the time.
Okay, so there, yeah, same. This is the reason I brought up the question. I was curious, about the situation.
Oh,
Yeah, I have no
it
roommate.
was real.
I have a roommate 0% of the time.
There you go.
Well, you want to know why, Nick?
Why what?
Because even if you had a roommate, they wouldn't be living there because they can't find your place. Like, remember yesterday, I tried to find your place.
Are you saying
and
that Nick hides his location even from you?
Yes,
which is why
exactly.
you never done.
He found it
Nick-
just fine.
No, I did.
He said he was waiting outside for me. I walked out and there he was.
No, like
Okay, perfect.
Nick's building where his townhome is at. It was at the other end of the parking lot, so I wasn't even close.
But John, you were parked in the guest parking exactly where you should have been, so it worked out
Yeah, but I could have.
perfectly.
I could have come closer to the building if I
Like
would have
3
had-
spots.
had great directions. But
Literally,
I
like, 3
kind of had
spots.
subpar directions,
John, I pulled around and picked you up from your car.
Yeah, but
It
you didn't
matter.
even tell me there was construction.
You told me nothing about this podcast. I don't think you have no legs to stand on with information giving.
Well, that's okay, Nick. Nick,
Yes.
that's okay, right? That because it's time for your final.
guess.
joke of the
I
week.
don't know if it's okay. Based on how often you say it's okay, I suppose yes, it is.
All right, Nick. What is your final joke of the week?
Why does it have like am I not allowed to make any more jokes this week or any week
Well,
after
I
the show?
mean, you never know.
Well, I'm just curious because you always say final joke of the week. So
Yeah.
what's
Maybe
the
the week
implication?
ends for him today.
No, don't encourage him with this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's tried to
because,
play this
yeah,
logic to me in the
here's
past.
here's to the week ending. Yep.
The week ending on Monday.
Now,
So then I should
this is
have the
sort
next
of
2 days off
Oh.
because it's the end of the week.
No, this
That
is
would be
sort
nice.
of like it's 5 o'clock somewhere saying it's.
It's
the
actually
weekend
not 5
somewhere.
o'clock somewhere.
Isn't
all
it
the
like
time.
10 o'clock where you are? Like
Yeah,
This is a
no, it's
late
11.
podcast.
It's,
It's
11.
11
now.
11. Oh yeah, you're East Coast. Oh geez.
So it is, it is time for the joke of the week, Nick.
Hmm. And it's the final one. So
And the
I guess
final joke of the week.
I better make it worth something. All right, John, did you hear about the guy with the boomerang problem?
So I'm not sure I've heard of him. No.
No?
Chris, have you heard of this guy?
I have not.
No.
No one's heard of him, Nick.
John, I thought if anybody did, you would be that person. But
No, not me.
oh no. Yeah. The guy with the boomerang problem. He bought a new one, but for some reason he just can't seem to throw away the old one.
Well, you know what, Nick? You threw away that joke. It could have been a good one.
Don't worry, it'll come back.
It was good enough. It was good enough.
Was it really good enough?
John's always fighting the laughter
You
during
I
this
got a chuckle.
segment.
Are they
Thank
always
you.
that type of joke? Are they always
Mhm.
that type of okay? See, I
Yeah.
appreciate those kinds of jokes.
It's a
you
dad
threw
joke,
away
yeah.
your
Yeah, a dad
last
joke. Take
chance
it,
at a
take it.
joke for the week.
John holds back the laughter though, in attempts to
Just
to
doesn't
make,
react. Just no
Yeah,
sells
well-
you every time.
Yeah, he's trying to break me down, but he's not going to get through this fortress.
Man,
Are you sure about that, Nick?
Oh yeah, I'm just a citadel of strength that is going to resist you forever. Doesn't matter what you say or do to me, I will not be injured.
wow.
That's what you say now.
Hey,
Until next week,
I've been
Nick.
doing it for 6 months now with this show, so
Is this
Oh,
a
yeah.
weekly show?
Yeah,
Do you do this
exactly.
every week?
unfortunately,
What do you
Wow.
mean? Unfortunately, I think this is a great time. What a time to be alive.
Sure.
Chris, did you enjoy the show?
No.
Sure. Sure.
You can say no. It's all right.
You can say yes.
Just say no.
But you can't.
Do people
yes.
say no? When you, how many times do you have guests? Is it regular? Every episode a guest?
Almost every, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And last week.
And do you have to like coerce them? Or
Usually, yes.
No, I wouldn't say.
Well, I don't know. Did
I
you?
mean,
have to-
I just said yes because sure. Because I
'Cause you
say yes to
didn't
pretty
know-
much anything.
you
Like, why
didn't know
not?
what you were in for.
No, I was just like, let's just see what happens. Like, whatever. We'll see
Right,
how this
and-
goes.
That's what John says about the show every week. Let's see what
Oh.
happens.
And now, Chris, you got 6 free drinks.
Oh, shoot. I will have to remember that at the
Well,
next.
they're not free for everybody, John. Someone
That's
is.
true. I will get
covering.
them for free. 6 drinks.
Yes, they'll be charge free to you.
Well, yes, but
Don't worry, we'll charge them to the show account.
Oh, yeah. Do you have a company card? There you go. Write that stuff off.
Yeah, it just has my name on
Yeah.
it.
Oh, it's
Well,
your card. Just your card.
why not?
Yeah,
6 drinks
Yeah.
and 30 mozzarella sticks.
Yes. Yep.
why not?
The cheese is on me.
But I'll at least provide you with marinara sauce or whatever kind of dip sauce.
Well,
comes
no,
out.
like
Some
you
sauce.
know, I
I'll
have
hook you up
my.
with that.
I'll bring
right.
my condiment box, Nick.
Is that
I
a
don't-
thing that you
It
normally
is.
bring?
No, but it is something that he has. I have seen it.
I do have a condiment box.
Yeah, but John, I don't think there's
Yeah,
any kind of condiments that come in packets that really go with mozzarella sticks. I
Mm.
mean, really, you want some tomato sauce with them.
No, there. I have some marinara sauce packets from.
That's
Arby's.
disgusting.
Is this a condiment
Arby's?
box?
Yeah, from when I got the Arby's cheese
Mozzarella
sticks, and
sticks.
I had the extra sauce packet.
But the sauce is gonna be room temperature though.
I can
You want cold
refrigerate
sauce,
it.
or would you prefer?
No, I
hot
want
sauce?
it warm. Yeah.
Mm,
Then
mm.
I can.
It'll be in his pocket. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It'll be
Oh,
normal.
good.
And it'll get warmed by his own body.
Yeah.
Great.
Well,
Don't give
guess
him
what, Nick?
Yeah.
The
What?
show is over.
Finally.
Is it?
Thank God.
Is it just over now? That's just it?
The funniest
Yeah.
part of my
Just
name.
like that.
Please visit
Just like that.
www.johnnotes.com for resources and
It's like
recordings.
getting hit
for
by a
this
bus and
episode.
just
Over.
peeling over.
And don't forget to
It's
join
like
us
getting
here
hit
next
by a
Monday for
bus.
an all-new episode.
I promise.
Why is